My car is parked alongside the track. I'm going to take you round and show you the cottage in the distance. Now, what I'm doing here is looking across at the cottage. Here is the cottage. The staggered roof with an end gable and a gable here with a chimney. The gable is like that. Roof, big roof, slopes down. Extended roof here. Some windows in the roof, and as it goes on across like that. The vines, let's first put this part of the cottage in. You can see quite clearly from here it has a window here, and the vines go down the hill into there, and then it comes out here, and the others go across like this. You can see the wires, and then there's another one comes towards me here, head on, ending up with a post, goes nearly up to the vine, to the cottage there, and this stump of the vine is in here. So we've got lots of leaves, quite clear here. I'm always tempted to put a lot of detail into my paintings, and I sometimes wonder whether it's because I see the detail and I just want to include it. I think some people perhaps who don't make such detailed paintings, maybe they can't see as much as I can. I don't know. It's fascinating. I can see even the little wispy bits that grow up from the vines here. And that's absolutely characteristic of what is happening at the moment. So we've got the stumps coming right down, and we've got a post here, and we've got some really good vine stumps in here. As you go further, all you can see are the leaves, but there's so much to see. There's so much new growth coming up from these vines here. And leaves, of course, the leaves have got yellow, they've got green, sometimes there's some brown in them, and in the stalks coming up from the vines, there's a lot of brown. And then, of course, we've got the next one coming across. These are newer vines and they're not as big. It takes a long time for a vine to grow. Some of these vines are probably 100 years old. It's quite amazing. And of course, we've got posts all the way across. And we've got posts, you can't see the posts on this one, but on this front way on one, I've got posts coming up through here. And then the next row, I've got a row of stumps coming across. It comes down to about here. And a post again. What I want you to see in doing this is the convergence of these rows. These are parallel rows in reality, but they are converging on the cottage. And that's what makes this particular composition so very interesting. And again, you can see the wire around the post here. There's another post here. And then there are more posts, of course. You can see the wires on it. And the vines will be tied into these posts as they grow. But just now, and this is quite a long one, it's got some very long tendrils coming up here, and the next one, and the next one. They've got so much growth now. A lot of this has happened in the 3 weeks I've been here in the vineyard this holiday, and the detail of these leaves is just remarkable. And we've got another one. I can't get it on my page, but there are trunks in here going up behind here, and posts, and more growth. And of course it goes behind here, and you can see the growth behind, and it goes on, and the growth's becoming taller and taller. Almost I can see them growing. And posts cottage stops there, the trees alongside it, and the vineyard really goes across like this with more trees. Here, behind here, we have the hillside opposite. When I say opposite, we cross the river, you know. The river goes down beyond where I'm sitting, and then the hills climb on the other side. And there's a village over there with some houses. Then there's bushes here. And there's trees on the horizon, and there are fields, and you can see the shape of the fields. I've discovered driving around that a lot of these fields are growing wheat or barley, and then there are lots of trees. We go down, the vineyard is across here, and of course there's the cottage and the gable end of the cottage, and there's a chimney on the cottage, and there's a telegraph post on the hill opposite. And there's a bit of a field in here, but we've got a lot of woodland here. If you look around far enough, just over here, you can't see it properly, and I can't put it in my drawing. There is Chateau Gisset, which is our local chateau on the other side of the river. Anyway, we have trees here. So if any of my paint is still wet enough to use, I transferred this paint from the previous painting. I'm going to start again with the sky. It's blue with a lot of clouds in it. And I like to always put the lid on my pen so it will dry up, especially in this heat. It's quite a cool breeze, but a very, very hot sun that I'm sitting in. I'm going to put some clouds in here. It's a bit purpley in the distance. I don't know if I can actually make that colour with this sort of along here. It's a bit purpley. Use a bit more white. More white clouds up here in the sky too. That will remind me. We need some more green to do the. I know normally when we're painting, especially if I'm doing oil painting, I'm lightly mixing my colours. But for sketching like this, when you're trying to do it quickly in the hot sun, I think it's acceptable to use some green paint. It's quite a bluey green we've got, so we're going to mix it together, and that's for the need more green in it than that there. All the trees on the horizon. And over here, quite a lot more because of the woodland that's over here. Now we're down to the vineyard here, but I need to do the same on the other side. I've got bushes here next to the cottage. And I've got a lighter green field. And then of course we've got the village here. And some more lighter green fields. Behind this cottage there's another vineyard, another field of vines. And then it goes down to the main road and then the river. So that's the start, and I'm going to use the umber for the roof of the cottage. Do with a bit of blue in it as well. I've been to the Chateau Chenonceau this morning. It is just along the river. Just below where I'm sitting, there is a chateau called Coudray, and it is the outhouse of the chateau. When I say outhouse, it's actually a pretty cottage where I think it was Francois Premier used to come with Diane de Poitiers. Maybe that's just a myth, but I think it's probably true. And it's a rather beautiful little small chateau. Sort of thing the odd rich Parisian might buy himself with the attached vineyard. This is meant to be a stone colour, but it's not completely out of character to have it looking so blue. This is much darker, the end gable. And there's a dark area in here where the window is. My umber has dried up. So we may want the umber for the posts as well. So try again with the umber on the cottage for this area here. And then remember, I used white and blue, and I think we put some umber in it for these posts. These are the posts that hold the wires that keep the vines together, and we've got a lot more actually off across there. You can see them. I'm sure I used brown sienna dotted across here. Lots of posts in here. There's a little bit of fallow land in between. I'm not going to let that bother me. Now we need to keep painting while this is still wet. Do these posts. I couldn't see the posts on that row. I wonder if you can hear the birds. They're singing away in the trees. There are, of course, lots of posts across here. Now, where's that yellow? Because that's nearly dried up too. We need that over here with the vines. I think I might do the stumps in it. These are the gnarly stumps that have been cut back year after year. I'm putting in umber, but there's a lot of these stumps have got a lot of pale blue and white in them as well, this colour that I've mixed here. It's about 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and yet the sun has become so hot it's burning me through my clothes. So we've got some more stumps in here. This one is the head-on row, so you can't really see them, but in this one you can see them very well. And we've got a background of grass in between these rows. Some vineyards I've seen, they plough between the rows, but not this one. I think we can see stumps across the field. These little dabs of grey made with Prussian blue will serve to remind me that these trunks are very multicolour. Not all dark brown as it might appear. And as I said before, we now need to work on the vines. At the moment they're in bright sunshine and a lot of yellow in what I can see. And remember, what we're doing is showing the perspective between the rows where it converges down to the cottage. The field is full of yellow, yellow-green, and I think we've still got some green, so we get some green in it too. And of course, remember that the background is a green colour because they're growing in grass. I've been coming to this vineyard for so many years. I used to come with my oil paints and do plein air work. I haven't brought them this time, but I'm missing them, and I might do some oil painting next time I come. One of my favourite things with oil paints, I've been out watching the sunset. We get the most wonderful sunsets here. This is what I'm painting now is grass. I've also had early morning paintings here in the vineyard with the mist, and I've had paintings looking down through the vines. One group of paintings I did, we had the tractor going up and down the vines, and I caught him on the horizon across towards Frank Eye, where we've been painting just now. Now that's a good start. What I need now is to get these vines over here. I'm not really counting what I can see. I can see so much, and I can see lots and lots of coming up and the light twinkling on their leaves. I'm going to capture it in this row here. What I'd like to do before I go today is to get a close-up of the vines with the light on the shoots. I think my green is drying up. There we are, that's better. Some more green in here. I might draw over it with a pen. Try and show you how, or remind me how these shoots are all. My pen's drying up in this heat. No, I might have to use something else. This will be a good one. There we go. So I can show us all how we can see all these little shoots glistening in the sun coming up from these plants. And it's the speed. We've had heat, we've had rain, and they are growing and growing and growing so fast. And the other thing I can't show in this painting is the grape buds. There we are. That's what I'm going to do. I hope you'll watch more of my videos, and I hope that you will